Hi, Sarah. I wanted to leave you feedback since you posted your ad so early. I was thinking that maybe you were trying to meet some time commitments, and so you were trying to get it done early. So I figured I'd just go ahead and leave you a critique early as well. So I really like your ad. I think it's off to a good start. It is definitely marrying two ideas in a creative and fun way. I have a few thoughts trying to figure out which direction to go first. Okay, so let's talk about your title first. I think you're off to a good start. You have contrasting typography, which is awesome. You do have this widow down here, and the rules of magazine spread formatting still apply to ads whenever possible. So I would probably move the A down to the next line, or you could move chance up here. Okay. And then Dymo, label writer. Okay, so this is a labeler, and you're implying because it has, oh, it's sucking, okay, I'm confused a little bit. Is this, I thought at first this was a cape. So I thought you were saying the label writer is some kind of hero because it has a cape. But then I'm wondering, because of your slogan, doesn't stand a chance. It almost looks like maybe this is clutter being eaten by the label maker. And so I'm not sure which one is the one you're going for. At first glance, it really looks like a cape. But the cape thing doesn't match with your slogan exactly. If you're going the cape route, then you need to, by your slogan, imply something about this label maker being the hero. In the battle of disorganization, Dymo label, or just say we're maybe in the epic battle against disorder, we're your hero, or something, we're the one you're rooting for, or something. Play around with it. But if you're going the cape route, this slogan doesn't reinforce your images. So that's one of the big things, is your image reinforced by the slogan. You're off to a good start, but just tidy that up a little bit. If it's not a cape, if your goal was that it's clutter, this is clutter and this is eating it, then they go together better, but it's not super clear that the label maker is like eating clutter. Maybe you could have the clutter coming in this part or something, although that might look weird and that might block some of the label maker. Okay, so play around with that a little bit more. I like your shadow on this. I feel like if you have a drop shadow here, you maybe should have one here, kind of just to make sure they feel like they go together, because it feels a little cartoony, which obviously it is, but you want it to still feel like it's part of the same image, okay? And this label maker already has some light hitting it right here. So it makes me feel like you need to have the shadow for the label maker over on this side. So maybe then you could put the shadow for your cape over here on the back. So it feels like the light is hitting the items in the same place, which will help them feel like they're even more unified. Okay. I like this type, but I think it's because it's so a little bit scratchy along the edges. It's looking like it's pixelated. Maybe you could remedy that by making it bigger. Okay, so try to make it bigger and see if it doesn't look like it's pixelated anymore. And then usually I'm going to advise you not to have any kind of shape on the bottom or on the sides or on the top, because it always ends up feeling like a filler. Okay, so it feels like this is a filler down here. It feels like there was something down here you wanted to cover it up, and so you put on a red box. So usually you would avoid doing that. Instead, I'd recommend you to take this logo and take your call to action and move them down a little bit more. Usually when you have this, it's going to want to exist in a kind of nice, tight little pocket down here. Now you need to think you have a center alignment here, which I think is okay, but this is centered aligned on a right area of the page. So instead, I would probably make Dymo a lot larger and justify it with available at Staples. So the O would be nice and right aligned with the S, and then the D would be nice and left aligned with the Dymo. So you'd have a really cool square shape of content information, and then you let that live down in a nice tidy pocket right here. Look at, trying to think of if there's a way I could show you some. Oh, let me show you the True Colors ad from, okay, so this is an ad from a, let's see, this one. Okay, so take a look at these ads. These are really good examples of what we're going for with marrying to image together. And look at where this is spaced on the page. That's the goal for you. Okay, so just a little bit up here, just a little bit over there in this nice tidy pocket. Okay, okay, so that's really going to help you to have it spaced there. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think doing those things will help kind of take it to the next level. Having it here in the pocket is going to be effective. Oh, you do need to have, you have your slogan, your 2 images, your logo, your call to action. You do not have your body copy. Okay. You said something about that. My second attachment has my body sentence. Maybe they uploaded in reverse order or something. So let me take a look at that here. There you go. Okay. Okay, so you've left aligned this here. It's pretty much the same. Okay, so I would take this body copy. I would move it down here probably. Keep this content still in the pocket. And then I would make this smaller. And I would probably not have it all caps because you need some contrast. And maybe this is just be a hero and get organized. Instead of screaming at you, it's just talking to you and it's small. And it lives in this justified box as well, but at the top of it. Okay. Oh, this makes way more sense. Okay. Be a hero and get organized, obviously. Okay, sweet. So I would have this hero. I would have it. Maybe would I have it switch out? I think it might be good to lead with it, but I think it's okay. But then you wouldn't want it down here because the main message is hero. Okay, so maybe clutter doesn't stand a chance. Doesn't stand a chance is on one line, and then be a hero and get organized is underneath that. In some kind of, I wouldn't have 2 full lines of this same bright red text that's all caps, because all caps usually means it's screaming at you. Okay, so that's a lot of screaming for one ad. So clutter doesn't stand a chance. Maybe doesn't stand a chance. You decapitalize this. So it looks like clutter. You could make clutter even bigger. And then doesn't stand a chance lives underneath it. ... And then be a hero and get organized could be in this big, bold, screaming font with a period at the end because that's a full sentence. Okay. But you don't want to have this just floating here because it feels like it's awkward. It feels like it's kind of in just a filled space and it doesn't really go with the strong center alignment that you're trying to create here. And once you make that decision, you really want it to be consistent. It's okay to have this information off center, but you don't want to have something just floating in the negative space to the side. Okay, so keep on playing around with that. You probably have time to do another draft and shoot me an email too, since you're early getting to this. Okay, so I'm glad I opened this one, but let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, Sarah. Bye.